here we are, folks. How's it going? Another exciting episode of Rebel Nerd Radio.
Rebel Nerd Radio, the first one of the year.
First one of the year, yes.
First one of the year.
Correct, sir, yeah. We are not going, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to talk about until we get ready to talk about it.
You will just have to stay tuned.
You will have to stay tuned. I will say, you can trust us. It will be very entertaining.
And it will be fun.
It will be fun. And I think you will all enjoy it. Hopefully. So yeah, we have a mystery topic. But tonight is episode number 240. We are almost to 250. That's kind of cool. And you know what? I'm kind of curious as to whether or not we are actually... Well, Facebook says we're live. So...
I can check it real quick.
Let's try.
Let's see if I can... Yep.
So who we got in the chat so far? We don't have too many people in the chat. Taco Cat is with us. Hello, Taco Cat. We've got Steve Spawn. How's it going, Steve? And Alan has dropped by. He says he's at work and saw that we went live. Wanted to stop and say hi.
Well, welcome and thank you for
really long time, Alan. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you.
And so anything, well, besides work, because we don't like talking about work. Well, I'd probably talk maybe a little bit more about it if I,
Well, the unfortunate thing for me about work is that for right now, it's like it can be quiet, but there's other times where like random crap will pop up, and that's just the nature of my job, is that just random stuff pops up. But the downside of it, and this is why I say I love autumn, but I hate winter. Not because I necessarily hate the cold, because the cold is not necessarily a bad thing for me. But when it comes to my job, I hate the cold because I know what comes next. And what comes next is spring. And if you're from the West or the Plain States and you're familiar with spring, you know why I hate spring is because it's storm season. It's storm season. So yeah, it's one of them things. I don't necessarily hate the cold. I just hate what comes next.
And there's Matt. Matt just dropped in. He is
Matt.
Football practice, he says.
Hey, Matt. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in on our first episode of the for the new year, 2026. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New year, new episode.
Mystery
Same
episode.
Old dudes talking about Star Wars.
Same old dudes talking about Star Wars shit. Yes,
so
Matt,
besides
storm
work,
season
what else
does
did
suck.
you do this weekend? Anything interesting?
No, not really. Thankfully for me, it was a pretty boring weekend, which is why I had to work. I actually didn't have anything going on this weekend. I actually didn't. I used to do a lot of stuff for the new year, and I actually didn't do anything this year. My girlfriend, unfortunately, for New Year's Eve had to work, and then New Year's Day we got to take the day off, and we just lounged. We chilled out. We just kind of sat at home, didn't do a whole lot, which was nice because her schedule, she works third shift, and since the casino that she's working at has opened, just recently done a grand opening, she's actually been working overtime and been working like almost every night during the week to try to help them to kind of get in a rhythm and get things going and make sure everything's working properly and doing their thing. So she's been working a lot of hours, and like I said, working a second shift and working usually until about midnight or later, depending on the day and that kind of stuff. So when I work during the day, and I never know what my hours are going to be because sometimes it's very random. And with her hours working out the way she is, it's been one of those things where we have a day off. It's nice to just be able to sit, enjoy our accoutrements and things that we have in our home, and just, be able to sit, relax, and kind of unwind and decompress and that kind of thing. So it was actually pretty nice to do that on New Year's. pathetic that we have a holiday where we're supposed to be celebrating things, but our way of celebrating now is just we get to relax and just
Mhm.
unwind and take a break and stuff like that. So yeah, no, we didn't do anything like crazy for New Year's or anything like that. We didn't really get out and do it. I used to do that a long time ago. We used to go to the local clubs, the local honky tonk bars and stuff like that and do that. But we did realize, and it's probably me being just cranky in my old age, but every time you go to those places, they jack up the drink prices, they jack up the entry fees, they jack up the food, and it's to the point now where I'm just like, I don't want to pay those prices. I don't feel like it. I can sit at home and watch the ball drop and drink my own beer at a discount price.
He said ball drop.
My balls drop. Yeah. Oh, I mean the ball drop. But I don't know. It's just to the point now where it's kind of like, I don't really care for that anymore. It's just kind of crazy, and you're dealing with drunks galore, and I mean just all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's just, like I said, it's nice to sit at home, decompress. And the girlfriend was working anyway, so I really didn't have anywhere that I needed to go or wanted to go. So, and my daughter was down in Texas. She was actually down visiting a friend. They celebrated New Year's down there, so she wasn't here for that. She wasn't here for a celebration either because she's had times when they come over to the house and we'll barbecue something and we'll watch the ball drop and we'll have a good time out here in the middle of nowhere in the country and we'll shoot off a few fireworks. But she was out of town, and so we just kind of, like I said, we just kind of chilled. We just kind of took it easy, and everything was fine. So yeah. So how about you, Steve? Anything?
No, we didn't really do anything for for uh for New Year's. We don't really do that sort of thing anymore, other than like the grandkids stayed up, uh, you know, until midnight. So that was
Hmm.
kind of the highlight. Yeah.
I
I want to
actually,
say it was.
admittedly,
What's that?
oh, I was going to say, admittedly, I didn't. I did have on one, like my iPad. I was watching the ball drop. I was watching all the live broadcasts and everything. I was watching all that go on. But while I was doing that, I didn't have anything else to do, so I did play a healthy game of Starship Troopers with some of the buddies that I have on that game,
Pretty
and
cool.
we were playing that till midnight, and the ball dropped the same time we were actually playing the game. So yeah, so I mean,
I mean,
I got to kill intergalactic bugs while the ball
we
was
don't
dropping. I
not
mean,
do anything. We don't not do anything for New Year's for any. I mean, neither one of us drink anymore, so it's just like bar scene is not really our thing anymore. Hey,
I
Brendan
swear to
just
God.
jumped in. How's it going, Brendan?
Hey, Brendan and Steve is there too.
Uh,
Steve number two. Um,
but I think I
and
want to. It was
it's not
either.
really, it's really not get off my lawn energy. It really isn't, because we have so give you a little background for you folks. For me personally, I do live out in the country, and I have 5.5 acres. I have horses. I built my own smoking pit. Every year we host a big barbecue out of my house where I smoke probably usually anywhere from 50 to 60 pounds of meat. And we have people to come out. And I've invited Steve, but Steve wasn't able to make it last time because for whatever reason. Uh,
Because we weren't invited.
you were too. Anyway, so, and like to give you guys a little background during COVID, we since we live out in the country, we kind of live in a small town. When COVID was going on, we actually had people that called us and asked us to host things and do stuff out at our house away from the city where people could kind of escape for a little bit and do stuff. So we had stuff out here where we were at. So as a few years ago, I built a 4x6 smoking pit so I could smoke meat, and so I could smoke half a pig, and so I could do different types of barbecues and different kinds of things like that. And so we do that out here quite a bit. And normally, like for or for not Thanksgiving, for New Year's, we usually do have a few people out. We usually have people out. They usually have a good time. And we have a huge couch, so if they need to crash on it, they can. Or a lot of them live in the country too, so they don't have to go very far to go home. But we always try to do what we can to, the number one, not promote drinking and driving on New Year's and that kind of thing. And so if we get a chance, we get people out to the house, we'll fire up a few fireworks. We'll sit outside. And actually, this year it was beautiful weather here in Kansas for New Year's Eve. But like I said, unfortunately, my daughter was down in Texas. A bunch of the people, my girlfriend was working. We really just weren't able to coordinate anything, and it would have been just me and a few other people. And without the girlfriend here, it's kind of boring, and she hates it when she's not able to participate in those kind of things. So it really is not a get off my lawn situation. It's just that we just the everything wasn't in the works this year to do anything real huge. And like I said, so I kind of sat at home. I cooked myself something to eat. I was able to sit on the couch and play some video games with some good buddies that I play with online all the time. It was a lot of fun, and I watched the ball drop and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, no grumpy situation kind of thing going on. It was just we weren't able to do any
Yeah.
celebrations.
But yeah, anyway, so I mean, other than not really doing anything for New Year's, let's say it was either Friday morning or Saturday morning. I can't remember which one. I took the two older grandkids, didn't take the baby, to Waffle House because they, for some reason, really like Waffle House. So we went to Waffle House. And then
Nice.
I'm pretty sure that it was Saturday that I I think it was Friday morning that I took them to the Waffle House. But Saturday, I don't really go outside out of the house that often, just for the hell of it. So I ended up I just drove to like the downtown area of Norman. You've been there,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we in the area where you and I and Mandy and your girlfriend ate brunch that one day. But anyway, I just wandered around the area and just kind of wandering around. Stopped at a couple places. I went to this place here. It's Guest Room Records.
Oh yeah.
A little record store there. And
Nice.
I stopped into DM Dave's. That is a gaming shop.
Nice. I think we passed by that place and we didn't get a chance to go into
I'm
it, but
sure
we
you
passed
did.
by that. It wasn't. I think it actually wasn't open the day that we came. It wasn't open yet.
It might not have been. But yeah, I just wandered around like the little downtown area, goofed around.
I will say this too,
then,
though. I will say this to people: if you are in need or you're just bored and you need something to do, go out and check out some of your local small towns and stuff that has like cute little, like neat little downtown areas. Like cute, but cute or neat little downtown areas.
yeah.
A lot of times you'll find places, little hole in the wall spots that you didn't know existed, but they're really cool. And it's fun to go out and just pick a town and say, hey, I'm going to go down there and see what they got. You may end up, there may be nothing. There may be nothing there. And you may not find anything. But there may be a town you run across in your local area that has a neat little diner or something, or has like some kind of specialty restaurant or something, or has a antique store, or has something like Norman does, But go around and check out those towns because a lot of them has like mom and pop businesses and mom and pop restaurants that they really, number one, they appreciate the business. And number two, you'll find some neat, quaint little spots that you didn't know existed that are away from the hustle and bustle of the big corporate restaurants and shit like that. So I highly recommend that you guys, if you get a chance, go do that.
Yeah, and then Sunday, really the only thing that I did on Sunday was prepare for and then run a very short session of Shadow of the Sun. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk about that session. It was a complete disaster, and we'll just move on from there.
FYI, people. That's why I was complaining about work earlier because I'm supposed to be in that game, but unfortunately, I was unavoidably detained by work, and I was not able to make it to that session. So yeah.
It was a mess. Yeah. So there's that. Actually, you're up. Let's talk about the. Dang it! If I can get it to pull up here, God damn it! Okay. Let's talk about the social media links.
Right on. So bio.link/Rebel Nerd Radio is where you'll find all of our social medias. Instagram, Facebook, X, if you so still use X. Discord.
I'm
If
still calling it
you
Twitter. I don't care what they call it.
I'm calling it Twix, so it's fine. If you'd like to find us on one of those social media platforms, please go to this link that you see up on the screen, and it will take you to all those links where you can contact myself. You can contact Steve. If you're into indie rock, if you're into music, if you're into things like that, you can contact Steve. If you're into collecting Star Wars, if you're into just general questions about Star Wars, you can contact myself or Steve. But you can go to that link, and it will give you all of our social medias where you can find us. I highly recommend, as I always say, Discord is a great place. It is a great community for people to come in. It's where most of our conversations and most of our social media presence is in Discord. We have a great community over there. There's a great group of people. We have conversations about everything from pets to movies to television shows to just general conversations to general shenanigans, which is basically any conversation that you want to have, which has been quite active today, which I'm going to address. I'm telling Steve right now, I'm going to address that here in just a second, as soon as we get through with social media. You will
Going to
also
address
find a
what?
link. I'm going to address some stuff that's going on in Discord today. A
Yeah.
very big conversation that we're having in Discord today. I want to kind of address that. I want to kind of talk about just that briefly after we get done with our social media stuff. You will also find a link to our Patreon, which Patreon is $2 a month, which isn't a lot, but what it does do is it helps us keep the lights on. It helps us keeping streaming through StreamYard. And with your Patreon subscription, you actually get exclusive access to some of our RPG campaigns that we've done, which includes a Star Wars one, which is the first one we did, and then there was a Cyberpunk one that is on hiatus, which we will probably pick up later. And then we're currently in the middle of another, which Steve just mentioned a little while ago, which is Shadows of the Sun, which is a great campaign. It's probably going to be an ongoing campaign that'll probably be around for a while, which is great, as long as my work doesn't detain me further. So stay tuned for that. But you also get early access to things like the Kryptonian Chronicles, which includes myself and Steve and Dave, one of our actually patrons, who we do all things Superman, everything about Superman. We're kind of scattered as to when those come out, but they do come out, and we're trying to get on a regular schedule after the holidays are over with. We're going to try to get on a regular program and a regular schedule about things Superman and stuff like that, which stay tuned because Supergirl will be coming out soon, and we will probably be doing a guys night or guys day of going to watch that movie somewhere. We're still trying to work that out, so stay tuned for that. You also get access to the Bat Cave, which is Steve and his son Blue, who discuss Batman and all things Batman. You also get access to the Devil's Den, which is Steve and Spencer, right?
Yeah, it's not necessarily always going to be Spencer, but he's kind of the main person that will be working with me on that one.
But stay tuned to the Devil's Den for all things Daredevil. And you also have a new one, which is the Mutant Chronicles, I believe it is.
Mutant Chronicles, where we talk X-Men stuff.
There you go.
We just did one. It's not on YouTube yet. It's still on the Patreon. So early access for the patrons, where we talked about our top 5 favorite storylines from X-Men. So
yeah,
there.
And I'm sure if Steve gets the inkling, there will be more comic book covers and comic book situations to come, different types of discussions, possibly. So stay tuned for that. You get early access to those, and then eventually they're put up on the YouTube channel for those of you who are not Patreons. But we do appreciate our Patreons, and because we appreciate our Patreons, we do like to name them during our show. Steve,
we do. We would like to thank our patron. I can't get this stupid thing to pull up. There we go. Okay. We would like to thank our patrons, Dave Brown, Kelly and Chris Olson, Justin Hensley, Charlie Kirby, Chantel Gonzalez, Brennan, Brian Finn, Steve Spawn, Matthew, Taco Cat, Paul, Smirking Bear, and Adam. Thank you very much for being our patrons and helping support the war effort.
uh, Two things. Speaking of Patreons, if you stay tuned for Show Us Your Thingy, I have a very special announcement and a very special showcase.
Special thingy.
I have a special thingy for that involves our Patreons. So you want to stay tuned for that. I will show that here in just a little bit when we do our Show Our Thingy segment. So please stay tuned for that. I finally have things going and good and everything's set up and ready. So I want to show the Patreons and the people who potentially could become Patreons what you might be getting from me and what you might be getting in the future. So stay tuned for that for the Show Your Thingy the segment in this episode. I also said that I would like to address something in our Discord the other day. Today. We had we have a very good Discord. We have a very good group of people that are on there. It's been kind of been quiet lately, and I kind of blame the holidays for that because I think everybody's just kind of been busy with the holidays. So I mean, it's not blaming anybody, not upset. I'm just saying it's been kind of quiet lately because I think the holidays have been going on, so everybody's kind of had things to do, and it's completely understandable. So not a big deal. But again, we have great discussions. We have great people over on our Discord. And one of the biggest things about our Discord is we do not promote any kind of hate or any kind of hate towards any type of aspect, especially when it comes to Star Wars, because there's a lot of that going on out there. And in my opinion, it was kind of reignited by a discussion that we had today. So I'm not going to promote any websites. If you want to look up the information, you can find it for yourself. So please feel free to dive into the internet if you so choose, and you can look up this information. But a certain website, which I would say is not credible, has done their yearly troll of trying to claim that Kathleen Kennedy is being replaced by Dave Filoni and another named individual. So there's two things I want to say about that, or two things I want to kind of preface before I give my final thoughts on that, because I wanted to discuss it in person so you could see exactly how I feel about it, so that way everybody understands where I'm coming from on this. First thing is that me and Steve have always prefaced this show as being two guys who enjoy Star Wars. We enjoy talking about it. Our opinions are not absolute. We do not have factual information other than stuff that we know to be true for canon or stuff that we know to be true in it. But we still preface it as it's just us two talking about it because we enjoy talking about it. That's the first thing. The second thing we try to preface on the show is that we do not promote in any way, shape, form, or fashion hate or discontent. If you like something about Star Wars, that's great. If we like something about Star Wars, we talk about it. But if there's something you don't like about Star Wars or something we don't like about Star Wars, we try not to focus on that aspect of Star Wars. We try to be more of a positive. We talk about the story. We try to address some of the background information, and we try to talk about like some of the things that happen behind the scenes. And we address not only the current canon, but we also address the EU. And we always say that if we have information about the EU, or if we have information that has to do with it, we always we refer to the EU until we get better information from Lucasfilm. But we try to stay as positive as we can on this show because we do not want to be a part of that troll/hate crowd that you see online all the time. And I'm pretty sure Steve agrees with me on this.
Yeah.
That being said, today there was some information that came out from a unreliable source that says that Kathleen Kennedy is leaving and being replaced by Dave Filoni and another individual.
Again.
Yeah. This happens every year. And I said this on Discord, and I'm going to repeat it right now. I am 100% positive that the reason why people say this is because when it happens, they just want to be able to look at people and go, look, we said it first.
It's bait.
It's bait. It's 100% clickbait. Until you hear it 100% announced by Lucasfilm, it is speculation and rumor, and people are just trying to clickbait you into believing that they have the information that you either need to hear or you want to hear. And this happens a lot. It happens every year. It has happened every year for probably the last, I'd say, 5 to 6 years. Somebody at the beginning of the year says, Kathleen Kennedy's being fired and she's out and Dave Filoni's taking over. Okay, so here's my thoughts.
I
Number
don't think
one,
Kathleen Kennedy is going to leave until Kathleen Kennedy wants to leave.
and as she should not. I'm going to throw that out there. And when Kathleen Kennedy feels like it is time for her to retire and her to leave Hollywood and retire and collect her winnings and leave in peace, I believe that she should do it when she is ready. That's my first thought.
Yeah.
Secondly, I'm not saying this to be a jerk to anyone. Okay, I just want to say that. But when Kathleen Kennedy decides to leave, me and Steve have already discussed that we will be doing a Kathleen Kennedy career highlights and appreciation show for everything that Kathleen Kennedy has done. Because if you look up, you don't have to believe what I say, but if you look up everything that Kathleen Kennedy has been a part of and she's produced and she's been part of these projects, they are some of the most beloved movies from the 80s, 90s up until the time she went to Star Wars. Okay, she was handpicked by George Lucas to be the representative of Lucasfilm when Disney took over. Okay, she has had an impressive and she's had a long, impressive career. And when she decides to retire, that is her prerogative to retire, and I hope she does so. So if anybody comes online and says Kathleen Kennedy was fired or her contract was not renegotiated or this, that, and the other thing, all these different troll and these hater things that come up, if she decides it's her time to go, it's because she decided that it was her time to go. And I just want to kind of preface that for those who are our people, are friends of the show, and people who know us and understand that when she decides to go, it's because it's her time. She feels like it's her time to go. And if Dave Filoni takes over and somebody else takes over with him and they co-manage Lucasfilm and Lucasfilm going forward, I'm all for it. I think it's going to be a great thing. I think it's going to be fantastic. I would love to see Dave Filoni take the reins and just say, okay, it's yours. Do with it what you want. Because he was literally George Lucas's Padawan. So I think it would be a great thing to see Dave Filoni take over and the future of Star Wars be in his hands and somebody else who can manage the business properly. Not to say that Kathleen Kennedy has not managed the business properly, because obviously if you disagree with a lot of what the decisions that have made through Lucasfilm, number one, she's not the only one that has made those decisions, first off. So she can't be blamed solely for anything that you may or may not like. Secondly, she has had a career that has been outstanding. It has been fantastic. And many of the movies that you know and love, she has been a part of. And like I said, if you look up the movies and the projects that she's been a part of, you would be surprised how many movies and how many projects she actually has been a part of that you probably are fascinated with or love. Or I mean her production history goes all the way back to E.T. And I don't mean to bring up stuff because I know Steve, that's going to be a great talking point for Matthew, but Matthew, just go with me. Just go with me on this one.
Don't hold that against her,
Yeah, don't hold that against her. But I loved E.T. I loved E.T. Just Steve it's just not something that was his thing. But I watched E.T. when I was a kid, and I loved E.T. But anyway,
what's funny is I did not watch that movie until I was like almost 30 years old.
That's kind of crazy. It's cool, but it's crazy. No, I watched it when I was a kid. I went to the theaters and saw it, so it was pretty cool. I really liked it when I was a kid. So that might be the differences. Like when you watch it when you're older, it might. I don't know. We're kind of getting off topic here, but when you watch it when you're older, it's one of them things where like, it's kind of me, and so that might be yeah, scroll. Take a drink. Woo, cheers, people. But it's just that. The reason why I want to address that is because certain people in the chat are giving out information and saying that that this information has come up and now this is what's going on. And I want to say this not because I'm saying that you that anybody in our Discord or any of our chat is being misled, but these trolls are people who they want this to happen, but they don't actually care about what she's done and what she's contributed to Hollywood and to movies and to a lot of people's like past and the things that they've like loved as kids. I mean, we could probably look up and go through a brief synopsis of some of the most famous movies that she's produced and some she's been a part of. But like I said, honestly, I've talked to
That's
Steve about this.
conversation for another day.
Yeah, we've talked about this, and if the day comes where she decides to retire, it will be a show that we will do that will be a Kathleen Kennedy appreciation show that we will discuss some of the movies that she's done and her storied career. And for all those who, if you are not a fan of Kathleen Kennedy, that's fine. If you don't like the decisions, some of the decisions that she's made through Lucasfilm, that is also fine. We're not telling you how to feel about what she's done or some of the things of the projects that have come up through Star Wars. But what we are saying is that we will not promote or tolerate. Number one, we will not tolerate hatred towards her or towards. We will not entertain or tolerate any kind of discussion or hatred towards her or anything that she's done. That's the first thing. Secondly, when Lucasfilm makes a formal declaration that Kathleen Kennedy has decided to retire, then you should take it at face value that she has decided that her time in Hollywood and her time working is done, and she's collecting her rewards and her treasures that she has earned throughout her life, and she's decided to back off and retire like a normal individual. Just because some internet group comes up and says that she's doing that, you should not believe it and take it at face value, and you should wait until that actual announcement has done. And like I said, it's not me like bashing anybody in our Discord or anything like that. I want to say that because I don't want people to think I'm trying to be mean towards them or I'm trying to say, hey, stop believing the trolls or stop being a troll or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you should take it at face value that she has decided that it is her time to hang up her hat, to relax for the rest of her life, to relish in her achievements, to relish in what she has earned, and she has deserved the retirement that she has earned, and she will go peacefully. And don't believe people when they say she's been fired, she's been replaced, she's been this, she's been that. It's a crock of crap. And nobody knows what she's going to do until she officially announces it and it actually happens. And when she does, I'll be here for Dave Filoni and whoever takes over for him to see how the next era of Star Wars plays out. But I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to like hate Kathleen Kennedy or I'm glad she's gone, because I'm happy for the most part with most of the stuff that she's done. And maybe Steve feels differently. I don't know. But I personally am not going to ride that train of I can't wait till she's fired and we see what comes next. Because I've lived through the originals. I've lived through the crap. Steve, help me out here. The remakes, the enhanced editions,
Special editions. Yeah.
the special editions. I lived through the special editions. I've lived through the prequel hate. I've lived through now the sequel hate, and I've lived through the Disney Plus hate of the Star Wars shows that have come out. And it's the same old story every freaking time. And I'm here to tell you, it's not going to freaking change. And with the advent of social media and people making money off of hate, they're going to do what they can. They're going to do what they can to fuel hate because it makes their channels money. So when you see that stuff and when you hear somebody make some kind of, oh, we've got inside information or, oh, we know what's going on, you need to take that into consideration before you decide to believe what people are telling you. Because these people make money off of it and their channels make money off of it. And that's what they're there to do, is to try to make money for their channels by capitalizing on hate and supposed inside information that they don't really have. So end of my soapbox.
So on that note, it's time for us to get drawn to the Force.
Yes, sir.
This is a segment for those of you that are new This is where we will be talking about Star Wars specific comic books that are coming out this week. So this week's comic book day is tomorrow, January 7th. We only have one Star Wars comic coming out tomorrow, and that would be Han Solo, Hunt for the Falcon #5.
Nice.
So this one is written by, I forgot his name already, Rodney Barnes. The artwork is Ramon Rosanas. And this is basically Han is looking for the Falcon, as the title suggests. I want to say I read like the first 2 and then kind of dropped off. I just decided I'm going to wait until the whole series is done and read it all in one shot. But there's the cover. Pretty cool cover. I actually really liked the alternate cover just because
It's kind of interesting, kind of gothic, dark looking.
It's got kind of a I just shot Greedo look to it.
Yeah, it does.
So if you are a comic book reader and a Star Wars fan, of course, run down to your local comic book shop tomorrow and pick up Han Solo, Hunt for the Falcon #5. And on that note, it is show and tell time. We are going to show our thingies. And we both have thingies to show.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
So I've got 2 things to show.
All right, go for it, buddy.
All right. First one is from Amazon. I don't know what I did with my knife. I probably put it in my bedroom. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I've not opened it yet. I know what it is. I mean, I'm just saying. What the hell, man? They got a packet like this.
Hey, you know what though? At least they packed it to where it's not gonna like break or get screwed up.
Right,
because like
I get stuff from
Hasbro all the time, and they put what looks like a freaking like a cheese grater cardboard thing around it, and it looks like it scratches my stuff every time. It's kind of annoying.
That is a lot of freaking bubble tape. Oh my gosh. Man, do I seriously not have another knife in here? I've got a pocket knife that I usually carry with me, but I'm pretty sure that I left it in my bedroom.
I carry knives, like I have knives hidden all over this house.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think I have one in my office. Good God. This is ridiculous.
We have a knife crisis, people.
It's all right. I will. What's the word that we use? Improvise.
Improvise. You don't have a lightsaber sitting around that you could like cut it with or beat the shit out of it?
Well, I'm using my house key.
Okay.
Because it's got sharp edges. So.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I think I have the. Oh, there we go. It's coming. It's coming.
Uh-oh.
All righty. Let's get rid of this freaking bubble tape. That is driving me absolutely bonkers. Okay. I have got a new coffee mug.
Oh.
So, here's one side.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
And on the other side, it just says Boba Fett.
Oh, because nobody knows who that helmet is.
Exactly. All right. So that's the first thingy I wanted to show.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got? You want me to show my other thingy first?
Yeah, go ahead because
Okay. I'm
I
showing
have
both my thingies
I
first.
have a picture that you have to put up, and then I have
Okay.
a little something I got to show, and then a thingy. So
This
go ahead.
one will not be as hard to open.
Oh, are you sure?
This just came in the mail today. The other one came in, I think, Sunday.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it came in Sunday.
Okay.
This one, however, just came in today. And I have got a brand new hoodie.
Ooh.
You know I like to wear hoodies.
Oh,
man, this one's dirty. I'm gonna have to wash this before I wear it. But it is.
oh, nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Especially after our Rogue One episode, I kind of
yeah.
Yeah.
My Rebel Scum hoodie.
You sir are indeed Rebel Scum.
I am Rebel Scum. And you guys in Shadow of the Sun are almost Rebel Scum.
Almost.
You're getting there.
as long as we're getting paid, we're Rebel Scum.
Yeah, you're paid Rebel Scum.
As long as we're getting paid and we're allowed to blow up stuff.
Freaking mercenaries. No. Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
Entrepreneurs.
There you go. All right, let's see it. Rip it out.
So, good Lord. My show me your thingy has actually been something I've been kind of teasing every once in a while in the shows. I finally got it in, finally figured out how to use it. Been doing some cool stuff with it.
You just figured out how to use your thingy? Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. This thing, well, when you see what it is, you'll understand. Or actually when the people see what it is, they'll understand why because I've never owned one of these before, but I've wanted to because I have a bunch of stuff that I want to do with it, including like make some of my own things for like Rebel ScumCon and for Star Wars Celebration and stuff like that. So Steve, if you will throw the picture up on the screen.
All right, here's JD's thingy.
Wow, and you can see the reflection too. You can see my Millennium Falcon carpet. But what you see before you is actually a Bamboo Labs P1S printer with AMS, so I can print in 4 different colors. I've never owned one of these in my life. I just decided to buy one because they were actually right before Christmas. They were actually a very good price for one of them. This is something that we've been planning to get for a very long time because we want to do 3D printing for some swag that we want to take to Rebel ScumCon, that we want to print out for Rebel Rock Radio or Rebel Nerd Radio, that we also want to, like I said, take to Rebel ScumCon and hand out. We also want to be able to print out things for Star Wars Celebration that we can give out for swag. And my other part of my show me your thingy, something that I've been teasing for our Patreons for a while. I actually have some things that I've printed out that I would like to pass along to our Patreons. Now, 2 of them I will show you this evening. So 2 of the things that I'm going to show you this evening will be things that I will actually be sending out to our paid Patreons, and you will be receiving these from me in the mail probably pretty shortly because I just got to print out.
You probably get them before you get the stickers.
Yeah, you probably will. But I will be sending our Patreons these 2 things, and there will be a 3rd mystery item that I'm going to print out because I wanted to print out one thing, but I could not find it. And come to find out that I actually have to do an upgrade to the printer in order to print out a certain thing that I wanted to print out. Well, I'll just tell you what it is. I was going to print out glow-in-the-dark calamari flan, but I cannot. So far, I have not been able to find a print program, and I have not got deep enough into doing the printing and doing the computer work for the printing to find calamari flan, and come to find out that I actually have to upgrade the actual extruder nozzle that heats up the filament and prints out the filament on the table. So I have to buy a new, better upgraded filament or a extruder for the printer, upgrade it, and then I will be able to do things like glow in the dark, metal, glass, things like that. So I have to do that first. So for right now, and this is something that maybe I will print out and I will send to our Patreons in the future. So there may be more future things coming. But for right now, I will show you two of the things that I'm going to print out and that I'm going to be sending to you, along with a third mystery item. So one of the things that you are going to be receiving is people are going to be receiving Galactic credits.
Very cool.
These are actually Republic credits that I've printed out. These are already done, already finished. These are things that I printed out a couple days ago, and they're pretty awesome. There's nothing on the back because I was planning on putting R&R or Rebel Nerd Radio on the back of them, but I have not got to that point yet. So unfortunately, you will just be receiving Republic credits from me as part of your gift as a Patreon. And you will also be receiving, and I'm sure Steve's going to boo me on this one, but I'm going to show you with another thing that you will be receiving, which will be cool, is a actually very cool translucent Jedi coin.
Will Rebel Nerd Radio be on those?
No, I have not got to that point yet. I actually have something else I was going to talk about too. But I'm trying to get to where I can get. So I'm trying to get to where I can print Rebel Nerd Radio on the back of them, but we have to hook the computer up to it, and we have not got a chance to actually sit down and do that yet because I just received a printer and got it working not too long ago, and I want to actually reprint stuff on the back of it with Rebel Nerd Radio on it. So what I might do is I might include like a sticker or something in it with it, and then like I can get Steve to send me the stickers, and I'll send everything out to everybody so you know it came from Rebel Nerd Radio. But it's just going to be kind of a fun little gift for everybody. And like I said, there will be a really cool.
Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I will be sending out a third mystery item, and this item I actually printed out for myself, which I thought was really cool. It was really neat, kind of little novelty item.
You printed the bionic thingy. I knew it.
I printed the bionic thingy. No. No, I printed out this third thing. I have one myself. It's kind of neat. It's kind of fun little thing. Something neat for people to play with. And it actually is, it works and it moves and it does different things. But it's kind of a neat little deal. And I'm going to be sending it out.
So, to me.
And it's not a bionic thing. But I will be printing those. And as soon as I get those completed, and like I said, I think I'm going to talk to Steve about maybe just sending me the stickers, and I will put them all together, and I will be sending out all of this stuff to our paid Patreons. You will get a complete little gift package from us for being a Patreon as a special thank you. This is something I've been working on for quite a few months now. We've just needed to get the machine in, get it set up, get it going, get the filaments put in. If you've ever dealt with 3D printers, which I think some of you people that are in the chat probably have dealt with these before, or you know a little bit about them. It just takes time to get them set up, to get the filaments that you need. And finally, I've gotten able to do that. In fact, the machine is in the other room right now, printing out some stuff for some people. And oddly enough, I have friends that want me to make stuff for them. And I told them, they said, well, we'll pay for it. And I'm like, if you just pay for the filament, I will be happy to print whatever you want. If you have something you need printed, let me know. And you just pay for the filament, whatever the filament cost is, and I'd be happy to print it. And so, future going forward, like I said, I have gifts, and a gift package will be coming from me to all of you Patreons from Kansas. So if you receive something from Kansas, you know who it's from, and it will probably be, I most likely will be a sticker in there with it. I'm going to try to talk Steve into sending me about 20 stickers so I can include them in there for everybody, you know, maybe even 2 of the different kinds of stickers that we have, you know, we'll see how that goes. And we'll get that gift package sent out to all of our Patreons, but you will be receiving that from me probably very soon. So I'm waiting on one more filament to get in to print that. And then as soon as that gets in, I will start the print process on those, and then I will be mailing everything out. So that will be happening very soon. So for those of you who are Patreons, or if you're kind of on the fence about being a Patreon, you probably should become a Patreon, because I think later down the road, as we figure out the print program, I will actually figure out how to print stuff out for people that will include the Rebel Nerd Radio. Either
you know what else we need to do? Actually,
what's that?
We need to figure out what sort of raffle or what sort of contest we are going to run to gift this to somebody.
We've actually been teasing that for a long time, and we need to
Really,
get
yeah.
that done. We need to get that done. So, yes, we will come up
Maybe
with
come up with
something.
ideas.
Hopefully, maybe next episode we'll come up with something that will be some type of
I-
contest or raffle to give away a free Star
Yeah,
Wars Hawaiian shirt.
we're not gonna do a trivia contest because anybody can just look that crap up on the internet and
Yeah. No, I think
we'll think
I've
of
seen
something.
it. We'll think of something, and so stay tuned for that. We'll also be getting. We'll figure out some kind of contest for a free Star Wars themed Hawaiian T-shirt, which you better send us pictures for and showcase it. But yes, so stay tuned. Like I said, you Patreons, you stay tuned. If you're thinking about becoming a Patreon, I have stuff like this coming, and there will be future gift packages, little tidbits, and little things for our Patreons. And when we get to 500 subscribers, I've already said that I'm going to buy 5 T-shirts, and we're going to come up with a contest to give away 5 T-shirts to all of our listeners, not just our Patreons, but just our listeners. So yeah, so there you go.
There's our thingies.
There's our thingies.
Hey, there's
Hey, Joy.
How's it going? Just realized she was going to send something to me for the raffle and totally forgot with everything going on. I feel that. So now that I know that Joy is in the chat room, is anybody else still in the chat room? Because it's gotten awfully quiet in there. I'm just wondering who all is still in the chat room with us. Yes. I think we're still suffering from post-holiday lag because we're not our chat room is not nearly as full as it usually is. Yeah, and that's kind of disappointing because we have a very special topic to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we do. And I'm telling you, people are going to be a little disappointed that they were not here for the live part of this if they watch it on the rewind.
Yeah.
They're going to be upset that they did not make it for the actual live show and be a part of the live discussion.
Now that now that we've gotten through everything and everybody has waited so patiently to find out what we're going to talk about, we are kicking 2026 off with a discussion about Spaceballs. Spaceballs.
Yes, we've been waiting for a while to tell people we're going to talk about it. Yes, especially with the sequel coming out. Since there's a sequel coming out, we had to address it like this year.
We have to talk about it.
Talk about Spaceballs, and we have not talked about Spaceballs on this show.
Well, we have, just not with you. Yeah, we had a Spaceballs episode way back when we were still the original name that I can't say. But we talked about that. We actually talked about it for a Star Wars podcast day special. But yes, tonight is the first Rebel Nerd Radio of the new year, so we thought we'd kick it off with some fun topics about Spaceballs. So, if you are interested, a couple of facts here. It was released in June 1997. No, I'm sorry, 1987. It was 96 minutes long. Of course, it was directed by Mel Brooks. And
Steve number 2 says he's still here, but he's just being quiet.
Yeah. The budget for the film was $22.7 million, and the box office was $40.3 million. So it did quite well. So kicking things off, I wanted to ask you, JD, did you see this one in theaters?
I did, and I have a funny story about this.
Okay. So I did not. And I don't remember why I didn't go see this in theaters, but let's hear your story.
Okay. So when I was a kid, I went to see this with my grandfather. I went to see the very first Star Wars movie that I got to see was Return of the Jedi in theaters with my grandfather on my father's side of the family. But one of the things I used to do was I used to spend time with my mother's parents, my mother's grandparents, or my grandparents on my mother's side of the family, I got to spend a lot of time with them when I was a kid. And one of the things that me and my grandfather used to love to do on my mother's side was we used to love to go to the movies, so we'd go see different movies. And I didn't know that Spaceballs was actually coming out. I didn't know anything about it because it was 1987, and I didn't. Obviously, the internet was not a thing. I didn't watch a lot of TV because we were outside doing stuff, so I didn't know it was even coming out.
Yeah, I
And so
didn't know.
my grandfather picked me up, and my grandfather and my grandparents picked me up, and my grandfather said, "Well, what do you want to do today?" And I said, "I don't know." I said, "I don't know what we're going to do." I said, "We're just going to go home and play outside or whatever." And my grandfather goes, "Well, there's a new Star Wars movie out." And obviously, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Star Wars. And I said, "Star Wars movie? What? There's a new Star Wars movie out. What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Yeah, I heard there's a new Star Wars movie out." He says, "You want to go to the theaters and see it?" And I went, "Well, yeah, but I didn't even know there was a new Star Wars movie coming out." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Oh, there's a new Star Wars movie coming out." And I went, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, of course I want to go see it." And so my grandfather says, "Okay." And he's like, "I got tickets already." He's like, we'll go to the thing and see it." So we went in, and I looked at the thing, and I didn't see Star Wars as a title. I saw I remember distinctly seeing like Spaceballs this way, and I went, "Spaceballs? What the hell is this?" And we go into the theater, and it says above the door, it said on the kiosk above the door, it says Spaceballs. And I went, "Spaceballs? What the hell?" And I'm like, "Grandpa, are you sure we're in the right theater?" And he's like, "They said this was a new Star Wars movie or something coming out." And obviously my grandfather, being my grandfather, he didn't understand.
Right.
He didn't
Right.
know about it. He didn't get it. So I was like, "Okay, this is so weird." And we started watching the movie, and the movie came on, and we started watching it, and I went, "Oh my God." And I was laughing the whole time, and I thought it was freaking hilarious because I understood that what they had did is they had made a parody, like a joke film of Spaceballs. And my
Mhm.
grandfather goes, "That doesn't really look like Spaceballs movie." And I went, or he goes, "It doesn't look like a Star Wars movie." And I said, "Grandpa, it wasn't a Star Wars movie." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And I said, it was kind of a parody." And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, have you heard of Weird Al Yankovic?" And he goes, "I've heard of it, but I really don't know anything about it." I said, "Okay, have you heard of Monty Python and the Holy Grail or something like that?" And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I watched those movies." And I said, "Okay, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like a joke or like a comedy version of Star Wars." And he goes, "No way." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, you watched it. You didn't take it seriously, did you?" And he goes, "Well, I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest." And I went, did watch it?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I saw some of it," but he says, "I really wasn't paying attention to a whole lot of it." And I went, he's like, "I basically went because it was something for you to do." And I went, "Oh,
Hey, my
okay."
friend Scott just jumped in the chat. How's it going,
Hey,
Scott? I don't
Scott,
think
we found
I
shit.
don't think
That's
I've
right.
ever seen you in the chat. That's kind of cool.
And I got done with it, and I after that I was like, it's a funny version of Star Wars, but it's a lot of fun. It was just it was poking fun at it, but it was paying homage to it at the same time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is freaking great. I'm like, I loved it. It was awesome. And the thing about it was, is in the '80s, John Candy was I love John Candy.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Candy was great. I loved just about everything John Candy did. And one of my favorite movies besides Spaceballs and his was The Great Outdoors. And I just loved everything John Candy did. And John Candy was in it, and with Bill Pullman and Rick Moranis and all those. I mean, just a different cast of characters. And I didn't really know who Mel Brooks was, but I saw him in the movie, and then later down in my life, I was like, okay, now I know who Mel Brooks is. And then come to find out, that's what he did parody films. And I was like, this, but it to me, it paid respect to the movie, to the Star Wars franchise, but having a little fun with it at the same time. And like you asked me, you're like, did you watch for our show, did you watch Spaceballs? And I'm like, dude, I've watched Spaceballs so many freaking times
Yeah.
that I
So
don't need. I
yeah,
learned.
but um, yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it in the theater. I didn't know that it was coming out. Didn't know anything about it. I actually, why I watched it, I found it on accident. It was like 19, maybe 88, maybe the year after it came out. I was in a Blockbuster. For you youngins, Blockbuster was a video store where you rented
Oh God,
videotapes of movies. I know
stop,
you youngins out there don't know what that is.
stop,
No,
stop.
but yeah. So yeah, I went to a Blockbuster and I saw that and I'm like, what is that? I knew who Mel Brooks was because History of the World Part 1 was like just one of the greatest things. I thought that was hilarious. I loved that movie. And so it was like Mel Brooks doing a Star Wars parody. Okay, I have to see this. I have to see this. So rented it, and the rest is history. It's freaking hilarious. I'm so glad they're doing a sequel, and I'm so glad they got Rick Moranis to come back.
Yes, because he
it's
officially he actually officially retired from Hollywood.
He did.
And he wouldn't even come back for Ghostbusters, but he's coming back for Spaceballs. Dude, that is freaking epic in my opinion.
I mean, Mel Brooks has got some clout.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's a goofy guy.
The fact that Mel Brooks is in his, for those of you who don't know, Mel Brooks is in his 90s. He's an old dude. But the fact that Rick Moranis actually retired from Hollywood, he wouldn't come back for Ghostbusters, but he's coming back for Spaceballs. I mean, I'm sorry, but Ghostbusters, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the original Spaceballs as Dark Helmet, I think is epic. I think it's freaking fantastic that he's actually coming back.
For reference, in June, Mel Brooks will be 100 years old.
Oh my God! I knew he was old, but I didn't know it was that old.
Yeah, dude is old. But yeah, so you got Rick Moranis back, you got Bill Pullman back. Unfortunately, obviously, you can't get John Candy back. But yeah, okay. So there's going to be a sequel. But
you know what though? You know what? I will say this though, and I think it is his son. I'm pretty sure it's 100% his son. I'm pretty sure. I hope and pray that if they do a barf in the movie, they actually get his son to do it.
I think.
Have you seen
what I read? What I read, I think, is that. Man, I was just reading this earlier today. Hang on, let me find the article that I was looking at.
I'm pretty sure it's his son. If you have not seen his son,
that's what I think. I think it's actually going to be Barf's son. Where's it at?
His son is like the spitting image of him. I mean, he crazy looks like John Candy.
And President Pullman. I can't find it. I know that Bill Pullman's son is actually going to be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find the information about Barf.
Yeah, I will try to send you.
I'll try to find what I found.
I will try to send you an image because he looks like. I mean, I think he. Looks
I've seen pictures of him. Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, I haven't.
There, I sent you in Discord a picture. You can throw it up there if you want. But I really do hope that they get him to play Barf because it's crazy.
Yeah.
That would be freaking awesome.
So George Lucas was okay with this. He gave it his blessing. He just told him no merchandising, which became a running gag in the movie.
Which became a joke.
It did
So
become a joke.
for those of you who don't know, like behind the scenes of Spaceballs, the whole reason why Mel Brooks and Yogurt went through that scene where it was like Spaceballs the flamethrower, Spaceballs the cereal, Spaceballs the toilet paper, Spaceballs the lunchbox, all this stuff is because George Lucas said you can do a parody of the movie. The only thing you can't do is you can't sell merchandise from it because we don't want to compete.
Right.
So it was a running joke throughout the whole freaking movie.
But aside from that, George Lucas gave his blessing, and he watched the movie, and everything I've read said that he loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie, like I said, didn't see it in the theater, but since watching it the first time, have watched it many times.
Many times.
Many times.
So many times.
Man, that movie is just so great.
I think I've watched. I think of all the parody movies like Blue Harvest. None
of them can compete with this one.
Oh, nothing complete with Spaceballs because I've watched Fanboys a bunch of times because I love Fanboys too. Fanboys to me is a great movie, and it's if you have not seen it, for those of you, it is a great play on like guys who are super Star Wars nerds, and we may even have a discussion about it one time. I'm not sure yet, but we may have a discussion about it.
We'll think about it.
But yeah, but I've definitely watched this. Of all the parody movies, I've watched this more than that, and I even own the Blue Harvest Family Guy movies on Blu-ray. I have all those, but I know I've watched Spaceballs way more times than I've watched that.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about some of the characters because we had some really fun characters in this movie. Of course, you had Lone Star, which was he was both the Han Solo and the Luke Skywalker parody.
Right.
Played by Bill Pullman. Flying the Eagle 1 or Eagle 5 rather, which is on our thumbnail there. You know what I really love about Eagle 5 and wait a minute, is it Eagle 5 or is it Eagle 1?
Eagle 5. I thought it was Eagle 5.
I think it's Eagle 5.
I think it's Eagle 5.
But one of the things I really like about it, and then I knew this. I just, old age, I forget about it. But this last time I viewed it, which was a few days ago, I totally forgot about the bumper sticker that's on the back of Eagle 5. So he flies up and he starts, goes off, and then he's got a bumper sticker that says, "I love Uranus." Oh my gosh. I'm like, yes. And I kid you not, I tried to find a good quality picture of the backside of the Eagle 5 for our thumbnail tonight.
But you can't mention "I love Uranus" and not mention Spaceballs 1 sticker.
I break for nobody. Yeah.
I break for nobody.
Yeah. I love Uranus was freaking hilarious. So yeah, you got or not Lewis Pullman, Bill Pullman as Lone Star. Awesome character. Freaking hilarious. The whole trucker mentality.
Yep.
It was great. And then, of course, we got his sidekick.
His trusty sidekick.
The Mog.
The Mog.
Half man, half dog.
Half man, half dog.
And that was...
I can't not hear that and think of him as he describes himself. "I'm a Mog. half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend.
My own best friend. Yeah, he's great. And John Candy is, I mean, like, we've already said it. I mean, he's an incredible actor. Everything he does is just hilarious.
Yes. Love John Candy.
I mean, he's even done some roles that aren't necessarily comedic. The example that like is right there in my head is the role that he played in the movie JFK.
Yeah,
which his character, he was kind of funny, but I don't think it was like funny ha ha. It was just like he's kind of a comical character.
Yeah.
Well, and hey, Waldo, what's up, man?
Waldo, hey, buddy. I mean, he kind of falls into the same category as like I would like call like Jim Carrey. So John Candy and Jim Carrey have their own unique versions of comedy. They have their own unique styles. Yeah. They have their own unique way of doing things. But at some point, even like Robin Williams tried to do it. Eddie Murphy tried to do it. There's been a host of people in the past that have done it. And what it is that these guys got their start in comedy. They got their start as being non-serious comedic actors. And at one point or another, they fall in and they go, hey, I want to try something different. And I want to try to do something serious. And my problem is like John Candy, after watching things like The Mask and Ace Ventura, and then John Candy after seeing Spaceballs, after seeing Great Outdoors, after seeing like Uncle Buck and all those movies, it's like that is their bread and butter, is that they are just comedic actors who are fun, who are a great time, who I love to watch, who I laugh my ass off when I see them. And, and I can't blame them because they want to try to get into something, funny. But like Eddie Murphy, when you see him in when you see him in like Beverly Hills Cop, it tries to be serious, but it's a funny movie. And then he tries to do something serious. It's like, dude, just stick with what you know. And John Candy was the same way. I really like John Candy. I like most of everything that he's done. He's been a great actor, and he left way too soon. Not unlike Chris Farley, John Belushi, those kind of guys. They left way too soon. They were highly funny, highly comedic actors who had great careers, and they just left us, unfortunately, too soon. And John Candy is no different. And I think John Candy ranks right up there at the top with me. I love John Candy movies. He's freaking hilarious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, Ubaldo said, great episode on 10 comics of 22. Oh yeah, me and Spencer did I joined Spencer. I completely forgot about that. What day was that? Now I don't remember. I joined Spencer on his Dingus Den, and we did our favorite debut issues of 2025. So like debut comic book issues. Like, wait a minute. Did we do 10 each, or did we do 5 each? Now I can't freaking remember. But yeah, that was a fun time. Ubaldo also says that he would add Phil Hartman to that list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure we could probably make an episode about comedic actors who try to go serious. Yeah. And some of it works out for. Some of them it really does. Some of it does good for, but some of them they just need to stick to what they know. One of them, I believe, was John Candy. John Candy was a excellent comedic rom-com, overall just a funny actor who had a good time. And he was just one of those guys where I like Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase is a good comedic actor. I really like those guys. So love John Candy. Great guy.
As an actor, great. I've heard he's kind of a dick though. Not John Candy. Not John Candy.
Oh, Chevy Chase. I thought you were talking about John Candy. I was like,
No, not
I
Chevy Chase.
have heard that about Chevy Chase. I heard that he's kind of a douche, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Also, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, awesome character. Barf, he was great.
Yes.
We did 10 each, Ubaldo. God dang. No wonder that episode was so freaking long. Because Spencer kept saying that was a really long discussion. And I was like, didn't feel like it was very long. But yeah, that's why. But yeah, you can go check that out on Dingus Den. I'll put a link in the show description for that. Next character. Oh man, you know who I left out in my notes for characters? Hang on.
You left somebody out?
I did leave somebody out. Actually, I left 2 people out, and I'm feeling really stupid about that now. Okay. Why did I leave them out? That's very odd. Okay. Okay.
Be patient, people. It's our first episode of the year.
Princess Vespa.
Princess Vespa.
Funny. She didn't look Jewish. Yeah, so she was basically the Princess Leia. The actor's name, Daphne Zuniga. I really don't know her from like anything else. I only know her from Spaceballs.
I agree.
I know she's done other movies and she's done like TV shows. But I only know her as Princess Vespa.
I knew she had been in other stuff, but I'm like you. I really didn't know any other thing that she had been in.
And then along with her was, although she was only there in voice, was Joan Rivers, who was Dot Matrix.
Dot Matrix, who was basically C-3PO.
Basically C-3PO. And the performance was actually done by another unknown named Lauren Yarnell. I have no idea who she is, but she was the on-screen physical Dot Matrix. But yeah, C-3PO basically. So this pair was, I mean, they had some pretty fun lines. You had the Virgin Alarm, and you had the that was pretty good for Rambo. Matt's talking about Chevy Chase over here. Chevy was at a con. He was screaming at his ass. Oh, assistant, over a bottle of water. She didn't open it before she handed it to him. Yeah, that sounds like
I've never heard that. I've heard stories in the background that he's kind of a douche, but
you know what one of my favorite Chevy Chase movies is though? Is Spies Like Us.
Yes.
Loved him in that movie.
Him and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love Spies Like Us.
Okay, so Dot Matrix versus Princess Vespa. Can't forget Yogurt.
Mel Brooks.
Yep, Mel Brooks as Yogurt.
He was pulling double duty. 100%.
He was pulling double duty, and we'll get to him. Yogurt, of course, was the parody of Yoda. But then you had the parody of the Jawas, which was pretty funny.
Yes.
But yeah, you had Yogurt, who was the keeper of the almighty Schwartz. And then
may the Schwartz be with you.
Forget the ring. I found it in a box of Cracker Jacks. Spaceballs the doll. Let's be with you.
That was close. That was good. That was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and then he also played he played President Scroob, the
One,
the
two, three,
leader.
4, 5. That's the same combination I have on my luggage.
Somebody remind me to change those.
Somebody remind me to change my luggage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the kind of combination that an idiot would put on his luggage.
Yeah, that was a great little interchange.
That's awesome. That was great.
So he's kind of like, in a way, kind of a parody of the Emperor.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
100%.
a huge parody. The dude was incompetent. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
The way he runs thing, it won't last 100.
Yeah. I love the two. He grubs into his desk and he grabs a can of Perry Air.
Oh yeah. Perry Air. Yeah.
Perry Air.
Perry Air. So he is the leader of Planet Spaceball, who is running out of air. We didn't even talk about what the movie's about.
Oh no, we're still getting to the actors, dude. We haven't even finished the actors yet. Keep going.
Well, we still got a little over 30 minutes to go.
Oh yeah.
Then of course we cannot forget Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet.
I did not see you playing with your dolls.
I didn't see you playing with your dolls, sir. I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
I'm almost surrounded by assholes.
Keep firing, assholes. Oh man. So yeah, obviously the parody of Darth Vader. But he was like, he kind of made the movie, I think.
I agree. I agree.
He was just hilarious.
I honestly think that his performance like completed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because even with Princess Vespa and all of her funny parodies to Princess Leia with the bun headphones and the dot matrix and the barf and the Lone Star and everything. Lord Helmet, I mean, it rounded out everything perfectly to make that movie just so funny. Yeah. And his references to Darth Vader and makings from the leotards to the fact that he had to put down his helmet to have the voice and then he put it up to talk and have funny moments. Are you trying to get under my helmet?
You went over my helmet? Oh my gosh. Sir, are we being too literal? No, he said we're going to comb the desert. We haven't combed the desert.
Have you found anything? No. Have you found anything? No, sir. Have you found anything? Man, we ain't found shit.
Oh my gosh.
How many assholes are on this ship? No.
I knew, sir. I knew it.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Oh man. Oh man. While not a main part of the movie, there was a cameo at the end that was just
God.
Planet of the Apes. What are those things coming out of her nose?
Oh, that's not even the cameo. That's not even the cameo I thought you were talking about.
Oh shit!
When they're at the spaceport. Now the funny part is if you folks in the chat or on the rewind, if you've watched Spaceballs, but you haven't noticed it before, if you actually watch the part at the end when they go to the spaceport and they're trying to get fuel and they're trying to get something to eat at the
oh yeah, well that cameo was funny too.
Yeah. So one thing you might notice is if you look at the ships that are at the space dock, one of them actually is a version of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you get a chance, take a look at that scene and you will actually see a version of the Millennium Falcon.
But if we're talking about the spaceport, also at the spaceport was John Hurt.
Yes.
with an alien coming out of his chest. Now,
Yes.
the great thing about that is John Hurt was in the original Alien movie,
Yes.
and he was the one who brought the alien on board, and it came out of his chest. Oh no, not again. That's why that line was so freaking hilarious.
And the part where they're like, what do you have? You have the special. Make mine. I don't want the special. I don't want the special. Make mine the soup.
Water.
And then,
Get this
and
guy
then
some
that thing,
Pepto-Bismol.
that literally that thing comes out and starts dancing.
Hello, my baby. Hello.
And puts the top hat and the thing on, and he's dancing across the deal right in front of him. And they both look up, check, please.
Yeah. that whole that's
the fact that John Hurt, who recently passed away, who for those of you who don't know, probably one of his biggest, not one of his biggest, but one of the recently more beloved scenes. He was in Harry Potter. He was actually Ollivander in Harry Potter. He recently passed away. Rest in peace. It was so funny because if you have not seen the original Alien from, I don't remember, 1970 something.
Yeah.
He was the original host of the Alien in the Alien movie. And the fact that he shows up in this movie, it comes out of his chest and he says, "Oh no, not again."
Yeah.
If you saw the original Alien, then you would know why that's a little bit more funny, because you would look at it and go, that was just disgusting the way it happened.
So Alien was 1979.
1979.
There are three movies that come to mind when I think of John Hurt, besides Spaceballs. No, when I think of John Hurt, I think, and I know he's done a lot more. These are just the three that are like pop at the top of my head. There's of course Alien,
right.
And then the year after Alien, he did a movie called The Elephant Man. And he's incredibly unrecognizable in that movie because of all the prosthetics. But then the other movie that I remember him from, yes, Joy, you picked it, 1984. The movie 1984, which is based on the book 1984. But those are the three movies that like just are right there at the top of my head when I think of John Hurt.
I actually remember him from some of the key movies that I remember him from was Harry Potter. Obviously, he played Ollivander in Harry Potter. He was also he played the Chancellor in V for Vendetta, which is
right. I totally forgot about that one.
Yes. And he also played one of Indiana Jones's colleagues in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
See, and I don't.
Yeah. Did you ever see Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
I did see it. I don't remember a lot about it because I don't remember really liking it. He was also, I mean, not, this was not like a cinematic masterpiece or anything. Hey, Artie's Armory, thanks for coming in the chat. John Hurt is one of my favorite alternate versions of the Doctor in Doctor Who.
Plays the War Doctor. Oh yeah. He was in Doctor Who. Yeah, thank you.
What I was going to say is while not a cinematic masterpiece, he did play a fairly kind of important role in the movie King Ralph. Do you remember the movie King Ralph?
Yes.
Yeah. And then he also was in man, I was just thinking of it and now I can't freaking remember it.
Ubaldo says he was also artist is Drew.
Hellboy. He was in Hellboy.
Yeah. Artist is Drew, one of my buddies from the Rebel Legion. And
cool. Good to have you on.
And Hellboy 04. Yeah, or Hellboy. Yeah.
Completely forgot about him in V for Vendetta. I don't know why, because that's a freaking amazing movie.
Yeah, if you people, and we're getting off topic from Spaceballs, but if you people have not seen V for Vendetta, you need to watch.
Yeah. Back to Spaceballs. Back to Spaceballs.
Yeah, back to Spaceballs.
Squirrel, take a drink.
Squirrel.
Where was I at? Oh, no. So the cameo that I was actually talking about was the Planet of the Apes at the very end.
Yeah. Which was just freaking funny.
That was
because they're like, what's coming out of his nose? And he's like, Spaceballs.
Oh.
He's like, hey, no, there goes the neighborhood.
There goes the planet. Or he says he rewatches V every November 5th.
Yeah,
we actually
remember.
Yeah, we actually did an episode about V for Vendetta.
That is, it is actually
YouTube channel. If you go to our YouTube channel and just look for V for, actually don't look for V for Vendetta, because that's not what it was called. It was actually just called Remember. And it was episode number 60. So we're taking it back a bit. And that was November 2021. Yeah, we did an episode on
for those of you who have never seen V for Vendetta, it actually has Anakin's mom, Natalie Portman, Hugo Weaving, John Hurt, and a few other British actors. It is a excellent movie. I highly encourage you to go watch it.
Yeah, it is based on a comic book written by Alan Moore.
Yes. What's crazy is I can actually recite that speech that he says. Remember the 5th of November.
Joy, we actually touched on both. She was asking, was the episode about the graphic novel or the movie? We actually touched on both.
I've never read the graphic novel. Probably should. Because I love the movie. The movie is fantastic.
You really should read it. You really should read it.
Yeah, the movie is fantastic.
But yeah, the movie is fantastic.
Yes.
The graphic novel is fantastic. I mean, it's iconic. But yeah, I was talking about Planet of the Apes. I thought that, and I'm a fan of Planet of the Apes. I like all the Planet of the Apes stuff. But that was that's right, Joy. They're both really good, but they definitely are a little bit different.
Yes.
Hollywood cannot. The thing about Hollywood is, and this is in the case of almost all comic book related movies, Hollywood cannot capture Alan Moore and his writing. It's just not a thing.
I would second that by saying that, and this is something that people have a lot of problems with, and I've seen this in Star Wars and other things. When you translate something when you take something that's an old IP and you take it to comic books or even animated, it ends up taking on a different kind of aspect. And that's because it's going from one medium to another. And when you take something from, say, comic books or animated and you try to put it into live action, something is always lost in it, because they're trying to make it seem more normal or more relatable to the real world as opposed to what it was in the comic books. So it seems like something is always lost. There's very few things that have gone from comic books or animated to live action that have been 100% completely perfect to the original medium. And vice versa. Like, for instance, one of my favorite movies from the cult classic is like The Crow. And I know we're getting kind of off on a little bit, but I'm going to say this real quick. But The Crow, I read the comic book and watched the original movie, and obviously it's hugely different. And it's just because how it translates from the comics to the movies is always going to be different. It's just going to happen. Harry Potter, same thing. When you read the books, which I'm in the middle of reading the audiobooks, the full cast, it's a completely different when you read the full cast audiobooks as opposed to even the original movies that came out 20 years ago. It's going to be different. It's just going to happen. I've never seen one that's been a perfect translation.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna respond to a few chat messages here.
Okay.
Artie says that he's never seen any of the Planet of the Apes movies, new originals.
Okay,
that is horrifying. You have to watch.
That's fair. It's fair.
Uh, no, that's fine. It's they're a lot to take in.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love them. I own.
I recommend the old ones. I
own all of the old ones on Blu-ray. I like the new ones too. I do. I like them as well. Okay, with one exception. I don't really care for the one that had Mark Wahlberg in it. I was not a fan.
Yeah.
But the other one's odd. Okay, second message. Simply, no, I haven't seen it. I've heard about it, just never watched it. Enjoy. I completely agree. I don't think that book can be translated properly by Hollywood, nor should it. On that note, I was not aware that you were such a big comic book fan, because only a really big comic book fan would even know who the hell Transmetropolitan is. You and
I'm not gonna lie, and people don't hate on me, but I have no idea what that is.
No, that's fine. It's like deep comic book nerd stuff.
Yes,
I think. We really, Joy, we really should get together and do some sort of comic book related episodes together. Already says he wants to watch the ones with Andy Serkis, just haven't sat down to do it. That's fair.
Yeah, I've heard. I'll be honest, Drew. I'll be honest. I have not watched those, but I have heard that they are the ones with Andy Serkis, and the newer ones outside of the Mark Wahlberg one is actually pretty good. I've heard those.
Yeah, Andy Serkis is not in the Mark Wahlberg one. In fact, I don't think. I'm pretty sure that the one that Mark Wahlberg is in is not part of the overall series. It's like been kind of disavowed, so to speak.
Well, that might be fan disavowed, but maybe not disavowed by the studio.
Well, I don't think it's part of the. I really don't think it's part of the storyline.
Oh,
anymore.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right.
I could be wrong. In any case, where were we at? Okay, how about let's talk about some. We already kind of. That's all right. It doesn't matter if you gave your comic books away. That's what the internet's for.
It doesn't matter anymore.
No, for real. There are a lot of ways to read comic books digitally. If you don't want to go the physical route. I mean, there is, first of all, if you are we are getting way off track here. If you Jesus Christ, Matt. What was I talking about? No, if you are a card-carrying member of your local library, most libraries have a connection to either something called Hoopla Digital or Libby, which is also possibly referred to as Overdrive. You can borrow comic books on either one of those platforms. Yeah.
Anyway, Spaceballs.
Aside from that, there are a couple, like if you lean toward like Marvel and or DC, if you know that those are your kind of bread and butter type thing, each of those has a digital platform that you can subscribe to and read comics there. There's ways to do it. So if you want more, we can talk about that in the Discord. Remind me to talk to you about that, Joy. So we kind of already talked about some of our favorite quotes. I did leave one out. I forgot about another Dark Helmet quote that I really like from it. Is they're on the ship and something's going wrong, and he goes, "Fuck! Even in the future, nothing works." So Dark Helmet was just hilarious in that
Oh,
He's
no,
got
wait, no,
some.
wait, no. You know what we left out? You know what we left out?
What did we leave out?
I'm sorry. We left something out that was in a weird way. But I don't know why. Well, obviously I know why, but because one of my favorite foods is this. And you know what I'm talking about now. We left out the fact that they take a job from Pizza the Hut.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, an entire gangster made out of pizza. I was both horrified and hungry at the same freaking time. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, and then the fact at the end they go, Pizza the Hut ate himself to death. And I'm going, yeah, I would have a problem with that too.
And he ate himself to death.
And he ate himself to death. Yes. Well, and you know what? Somebody we actually forgot to mention is that the name of the planet is escaping me, but it's Princess Vespa's father was Dick Van Dyke.
Oh yeah, Dick Van Patten. Yeah,
Dick Van Patten. Excuse me, Dick Van Patten. Also a great old actor. He's really cool. And then one of the things that was the funniest thing about it is that, and some of you folks might in the chat, and if you know some of the things that have happened recently for me, one of the things I've been doing lately and people have been asking me to do is officiating weddings. And this one that I did recently, it was kind of funny because
you did a Spaceballs one?
No. What was funny about it is that one person was laughing because they wanted me to do the quote from the wedding from The Princess Bride.
Love, true
love and marriage. Marriage is this. And then one other person was laughing because they wanted me to do the Spaceballs one. And I wanted to do the Spaceballs version. And it was actually funny. The funny part about it is that when we did the wedding, we actually did the wedding here at my house. And we set up a whole little area, a little venue kind of thing to do a wedding. And then in my shop, we set up a little area so we could do dinner and we could cut the cake and we could do the dancing and all that kind of stuff. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It was cool. It was something in my life that I never thought I would actually do. And when we got done with the wedding, we actually had to drive to Oklahoma to officially sign the paperwork and do all of the wedding stuff. And it was great because I was sitting there and the people that I was doing the wedding for, they're geeks too. They're nerds. And we got to the place where we were going to do the official ceremony. We did the one with all the family and the friends and all that kind of stuff. And I got to officiate. It was very nerve-wracking. And we got to the other place, and it was me, my girlfriend, another witness, and the bride and the groom, and their little girl. And we went in there, and I kid you not, I looked at the two of them, and I said, okay, we're going to do the short version. You're married, kiss her. And they both knew exactly what I was doing. They knew that I was doing the one from Spaceballs.
We're doing the short version.
We're doing the short version. Do you? Good. Yes, sir.
I'm married. Man.
It's like I'm actually having fun, and and the fact that I got to marry two people as a Jedi Knight, that was cool. But then marrying two people and then getting to do this quote from Spaceballs, I was like, dude, I'm like, I got to have fun with the Spaceballs thing. It was kind of funny.
That's awesome.
And I don't remember the actor's name, and maybe you can look it up, Steve. I don't know. But the guy that was playing Prince Valium. Prince Valium. He was an actor. He was a famous actor in the 80s, too. I don't remember his name. But there was Prince Valium, who was getting married to Princess Vespa. And I don't remember his name. And I'm honestly, if you haven't watched a lot of 80s stuff, you probably wouldn't know who he was.
Jim Bullock.
Yeah. And you'd probably have to look him up and see what he was in. But he was in some stuff in the 80s, or I think it was early 80s.
He was in Alf.
Yeah. For those of
He-
you, who are younger and don't know what Alf is, go look it up.
like his biggest role, I think, was a sitcom called Too Close for Comfort.
Yes. I actually watched that when I was a kid.
But yeah, that was it was a very, very short role. But yeah, it was good. Let's see. Let me look over my notes. I actually did have another topic I wanted to discuss. Where's it at? Okay. Okay. What other sci-fi franchises do you think should get or deserve to get the Spaceballs treatment? And I don't just mean like some random director doing, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Star Trek has already gotten one.
Well, Galaxy Quest, yeah.
Galaxy Quest. So basically, Galaxy Quest.
Alien, they kind of did anyway when they did Spaceballs, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of included it in there, but they included aliens. They included what was another movie they referenced in there? There was another movie that I thought of earlier. It was crap. It was aliens, and there was another one in there that they referenced to, and I can't remember what it was. That I was thinking of earlier, and I can't remember. I can't remember what it was.
Man, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'll think of you. You watch. I'll think of it in a minute. Yeah, and Drew says Orville. Yes, Orville. Orville is kind of a parody version of Star Trek. So
yeah, that kind of is. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you want to do the quote unquote full Spaceballs version of it, then yeah, I would say Star Trek would be one of them.
What about? Which one of them I was thinking of? One of them.
I'm trying to think of a sci-fi trilogy that hasn't been. I mean, honestly, you know, one that I think they could do, and it would actually be funny if they did it right. And I know this is going to be kind of a stretch, maybe to people to think of, but follow me on this for a second. Is if they put the Spaceballs treatment on Avatar.
It would probably be better than the movie Avatar. No, one that I was thinking would be funny would be Predator.
Yeah, I was going to say Predator. I was going to say Predator.
Funny one.
Yeah. Yep. Terminator.
Terminator would be a good one.
Terminator would be a funny one if they did it right.
Lord of the Art says Lord of the Rings.
Would be funny. Yeah.
Would be funny. Do some meta fourth wall breaks like Men in Tights. Yeah.
Men in Tights.
Yeah.
Another great parody movie. Men in Tights.
What's that?
Men in Tights. Another great
parody
movie.
Yeah. No, I've got one. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. Lay it on me.
Dude.
Only if they include the bucket. Only if they include the popcorn bucket, dude. It would not be complete unless the popcorn bucket was in there.
That popcorn bucket was vile.
We're getting off on another tangent here, but the popcorn bucket, I mean, yeah, it was a cool idea, but they don't understand how weird people's minds are, I think. I just think that they don't realize how weird people's minds are.
Exactly, Artie. Jeez. He purged that bucket from his memory. Why'd you bring it up again?
Because we do things like that. That's
That's
what
what we
we're
do here.
about.
We
We
do
want
that.
to put that in your head. So the next time you watch us, you're still thinking about the popcorn bucket.
Just remember, folks, we are the Star Wars podcast that put into your head. Does Darth Maul have a bionic thingy?
Does he have a bionic thingy?
Another one that would be this one would be kind of niche because I don't know how big a fan base this franchise really has. But what about Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah, that would be good. I think it does. It's been a while since it's been out, but the good thing. This is the thing about things like Weird Al Yankovic, about Mel Brooks, about Monty Python, about even I dare say like the National Lampoons, is that when these movies and these shows come out with parodies, even like Fanboys or other things like that, anything that comes out with a parody is something that's a popular pop culture type of movie, and they do a parody of it, is that I think it actually brings some recognition to that, and they do the funny part of it, and then people go, hey, I wonder what the real stuff was like.
Joy, Stargate balls.
Yeah, exactly. Star balls. Yeah.
Star balls.
But I think it makes people go, well, what was if they're doing a parody and they're doing a funny of it, what would the original be like? And like Scary Movie, for instance, like the Scary Movie series.
Yeah.
They did all these, they mashed up all these movies that were funny versions of these horror movies. And then people go, oh, cool. Well, I wonder what the original movies are like. And then people go back and they go, well, let's watch the original movies. And
the parody was better.
Yeah, in some cases.
That would be okay. That would be very interesting.
Oh wait, what about a parody that was parodying the comedy and making it super serious, like the Mario movies with Chris Pratt, but it's about Luigi's Mansion and the dark horror flick.
Okay.
Yeah. They could do it.
We already mentioned the Terminator movies.
Yep. Lord of the Rings would be funny. Lord of the Rings would be a good one if they did it right.
That's not really a movie though. It's
a TV series. I mean, but still, they could do something funny that would be like if they got Mr. Bean to be like if they got Rowan Atkinson to come back and be the Dr. Bean. And if you're not a fan of British comedy, that would be freaking hilarious. That would be freaking hilarious to get Mr. Bean to be the Doctor. Oh my God. Dude, we need to call the BBC and talk to those fools. BBC, and say, dude, if you can't get Rowan Atkinson to do a funny version of Doctor Who and be Mr. Bean, but Doctor Who at the same time, like a mashup,
that'd be great.
I'm sorry. I would watch that show.
DJ, okay. DJ just jumped in the chat.
Hey, what's up?
Joy. Wait a minute. Both Joy and Artie both say that he was already the Doctor in a parody special. All right, I gotta look that up now.
I gotta look that up.
The Curse of Fatal Death. Holy crap. It was made in 1999.
Okay, I got to watch that.
I wonder if it's on streaming.
Joy says he was the Doctor in a charity show for kids. If he was already, I got to watch that. And honestly, he needs to do it again. They need to make him the Doctor and do a whole series, like a whole season of him as the Doctor, but in a funny way as the Doctor. I think that would be good. But I need to watch it. If that's the case, I gotta watch that. There was a parody Doctor Who special, but put out by BBC where the Doctor regenerated into a ton of different comedians, and it showed the Doctor turning into a girl for the first time. Him and the chick from Absolutely Fabulous Joanna Lumley. No kidding. And he turned into Rowan Atkinson as Mr. Bean, but the doctor. Oh my God, I gotta watch
That is
that.
hilarious.
I gotta watch that.
That would be great.
That's great. Yeah, see, this is why I love our chat, because they come up with this. They let us know about this stuff.
Oh man,
That's great. I have to watch that. I have to watch it, because if it's as hilarious,
I really like Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah, I love Rowan Atkinson. He is freaking great. I used to watch Mr. Bean all the time. He was awesome.
They make a joke about him having delicate bumps. Oh my gosh.
I need to watch that. I'm going to have to watch that episode now.
What about a parody? Although this was not like the original is not a movie, but what about a parody, Spaceball style, of Game of Thrones?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. That'd be all right. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, we are coming to the end of our Spaceballs special. I want to thank everybody that was in the chat hanging out with us tonight for our first episode of 2026.
Skylight Helen.
What was that?
Oh, actually, Drew in the chat just sent me the link to YouTube that shows Rowan Atkinson is Doctor Who. So I'm gonna have to watch this. So I'm gonna have to watch this when we're done.
So yeah, thanks for everybody in the chat room hanging out with us for our first episode of 2026.
Yes.
Thank you to all of those watching live but didn't get in the chat, and thanks to all of you for watching the replay. If you are not already a subscriber, make sure that you go there and subscribe and smash that like button. And if you need the link, it's youtube.com/@Rebel Nerd Radio. And you can also just go to bio.link. bio.link/Rebel Nerd Radio.
Rebel Nerd Radio.
That takes you all to our socials, including our
Discord, which you need to be a part of, and our Patreon.
And our YouTube. Just make sure that you subscribe, smash that like button, all that stuff. I'm glad that we were able to brighten your evening. Hope you have a great one as well. And thanks to all our patrons, of course. And if you are not already a patron, remember, it's only $2 a month, and you get all kinds of cool stuff. But come and see us next week. We have no idea what our topic will be yet, because we haven't talked about it.
It'll be a good one.
You can blame the holidays.
It'll be a good one. We're trying to get reset, but we'll get on a schedule.
Yeah. Well, we got some cool episode ideas in play. And also, if you are a member of our Discord, or if you're not, get on there. But if you are a member of our Discord, give us your suggestions for show topic ideas, and we generally will incorporate them if they're good ones. But we'll see you next week, and may the force be with you.